After wrapping up its Pentax clone GX series DSLR line in 2009, Samsung has spent time furrowing its own path back into the camera market with its NX series compact system cameras. The latest of which, the Samsung NX1, isn't afraid of going large. It's big on features, but also big on size. Our review sample Samsung NX1 came paired with the 16 to 50mm f/2.0-2.8 lens. It's an excellent optic which, on account of its wide maximum aperture, is somewhat large, but an ideal match to a high-end camera body such as the NX1. When we say the NX1 is large, we don't mean it's so huge that it's beyond usable. In compact system camera terms, it's as big as they come is all, with the likes of the Panasonic Lumix GH4 smaller overall when considering its choice of micro four thirds sensor and, therefore, smaller like-for-like lenses. Sony, on the other hand, offers a similar APS-C sensor size for its alpha models, but it requires a much shorter flange back distance from the lens rear to sensor, so its E-mount lenses are also smaller than the NX equivalents. But over time we've become accustomed to Samsung's choice of size, and there have been occasions where the scale has been proactively useful. In the not-so-balmy -7C of a Montreal winter, gloves firmly fixed to hands, the spread of control dials and buttons made the NX1 all the easier to use. The dust and weather-sealed exterior also came into its own when combating the elements, as that sleet certainly wasn't going to become an issue. The rear 3-inch AMOLED screen is mounted on a tilt-angle bracket rather than the preferable vari-angle mechanism of the Panasonic Lumix GH4, but we still found it useful for waist-level work. Its color replication, on the other hand, looked way off with the OLED color option active in the settings, a kind of putrid inaccuracy that we would rarely trust in preview. That's down to AMOLED's added punch, which can look great when balanced correctly, but that can all too often be pushed to excess. When not using the screen, the NX1 incorporates an OLED electronic viewfinder to its center, mimicking classic DSLR style. This offers a 0.7x equivalent magnification for a large view. Its 2.46 m resolution is crisp, and the auto-eye sensor swaps from rear screen to finder quicker than any other compact system camera we've used. Samsung claims the viewfinder has almost no lag. The 0.005 second delay means what's happening in front of you unfolds to your eye near instantly, but that doesn't mean that ghosting is absent in darker conditions. Well, in specific instances, for the sake of saving battery, we presume, the finder refresh rate is limited until focus is acquired, but after focus is acquired the refresh rate is upped for silky smooth and ghost-free motion. We've dug through the menus but failed to find an option for an always-on super mega refresh rate. Shame, as there's yet more potential wrapped up in here. Performance. One look at the NX1 specification and it's clear it's one of the most feature-packed compact system cameras out there. Autofocus is handled by the new NX AF System 3, which provides 205 phase detection AF points, 153 of which are cross-type for heightened sensitivity irrelevant of orientation, alongside 209 additional contrast detection areas, maintaining its big trend with such sizable numbers. The other headline-grabbing feature, and for good reason, is the 15 frames per second burst mode. Yep, 15 fps at the full 28 megapixel resolution is about as good as it gets in the camera world. That's quite a feat, helped along by the new DRIME processing engine and multi-core CPU and GPU working behind the scenes, all said to be 2.8 times faster than the last generation NX system. We've reeled off bursts of RAW and JPEG shots while shooting wild deer, producing heaps of shots to capture the desired moment. When it comes to accurate focal point positioning, we would like some more advanced controls, though. akin to the pinpoint mode found in Panasonic Lumix compact system cameras. However, Tizen does mean better integration of some interesting features, such as Bluetooth, via NFC, and Wi-Fi connectivity for sharing images from camera to a smart device. It's all for Android devices only, so no Apple or Windows Phone compatibility, hardly a surprise from a company invested in Android smartphones, but if that's what you have, then fill your boots. We had a few glitches when getting things working, but some phone adjustments, app downloads, and restarts got everything in order. Once up and running, the Samsung Camera Manager INST app allows for remote control of the camera. We had a bug with permanent overexposure sometimes, and sharing of files between camera and smartphone. Verdict: although the Samsung NX1 kills the very notion of compact system camera, it's still a solid slice of kit with plenty to shout about. Let's get the quibbles out of the way first though. We found some software glitches to be apparent, which we don't expect at this level. The AMOLED screens don't show off colors to their best capacity, the viewfinder ghosting is disappointing and probably not necessary, and the high ISO image quality is stretched, most likely on account of the 28 megapixel resolution sensor. But there are firsts and class-leading features afoot too. The super-fast 15 fps burst mode and nippy autofocus is often impressive. Image quality with the 16 to 50 mm f/2.0-2.8 lens in tow has great potential. The battery life betters any compact system camera we've used, and Wi-Fi cuts to the chase for sharing images to those places that matter. Bigger isn't always better, but in the right hands, with the right lens, and the right mindset, the Samsung NX1 is an impressive camera. It's just not really what we'd call compact by any measure. It's more Samsung going full circle and reflecting on its DSLR days in newfound form. There are glimmers of brilliance here, but only if you can get over the physical size.